Nerd alert! A little bit of context because the person is obviously being intellectually dishonest, as it's usually the case with that kind of nerd. He refuses to see the topic. The topic was someone made a claim, not me, that Greeks, there was no Greece, and it baffles me that someone who claimed to be so expertsy in that culture or group of philosophers failed to see the pachydermis or pachydermos because it's masculine in classical Greek, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Pachydermos in the room. So instead, he goes about bragging about his advericundium expertise in classical Greek language. Dude, you are showing a Google Translate of classical Greek to show that you somehow know how to speak classical Greek? I'm not sure I understand. And then, like you, I have the decency to admit when I'm not sure I understand something. Instead of jumping to conclusions and especially making stuff up, which is what you did. Because the topic was about homosexuality in classical Greece. That was inside a thread about something Greece. And the topic was about homosexuality in the region, because as we all know, and we all should, especially when we claim to be all-knowing about classical Greek, there was no Greece back then. There were Hellenistic city-states. There was the region of Hellespont. I don't know, you tell me. All I know is that those were different city-states, and that's what I was replying to, about different city-states, and in each city-state there were different policies, there was different constitution, there were different laws, but he ignores all that because he got pissy because I used strong wording. Now, I do admit I use strong wording, and maybe I should be careful because that triggers a certain kind of nerd, as this manic compulsive person, pretentious prick, because he's trying to illustrate that he knows classical Greek, which he doesn't like. Showing a Google Translate of a transcript in Greek to show you know classical Greek is not the same as knowing classical Greek. I would know. I studied classical Greek at university, one of the finest. Since you are throwing in advericundium, what is your alma mater? I can tell you my alma mater. The Royal University of Copenhagen. So you have an issue with that, with anything I said about the matter? I recommend you scream and cry to my professors at the Faculty of Theology, where I learned classical Greek, that now I forgot most of it because I don't use it daily, so as it is. But I still remember the color of the book that I learned it from. Very expensive, because somehow in state-funded universities we still have to pay for material that is made up by the professors to cash in big money. That is ridiculous, ludicrous. That little, not little, but not big either, that medium book teaching how to speak classical Greek. I still remember the baby blue cover, really cheap paper, and it was copies, like printer copies, and we have to pay extortive amount of over 100 euros. I think that one was 115 euros back in the days. Very expensive. I do not recommend it, but we have to do it as students, we have to be exploited. But yeah, the context of what I said was based that in Athens they had the costume of pederasty and a slight level of homosexuality as well. And Aristotle was not really fond of it, to use proper wording, so he took his son away to other kingdoms. And we don't know all the kingdoms, because if anyone knows anything about Aristotle, they would know that we only have 30% of his works, and as I will dwell into things at their right time. Thing is, context. I was not making a claim, I was replying to a claim made that all Greeks were gay, which is not true. In city-states, as I said previously to comments he might, to one speck of a comment, part of a sentence, he might have taken offense to. Thebes, Thebes promoted homosexuality. They had a band of 200s. In Sparta, it was shunned upon. It was homosexuality. Oh yes, pederasty, we can talk about it. But homosexuality, they did not like it because they considered it submissive behavior. And we know, or we should, what Spartans think about submissive behavior, correct? Do you have any beef about Spartans not being submissive? Do you think they were submissive? Like probably Thebans. Listen, dude. Thebans had the band of 200. The Spartan, they had the 300. To those who do not know, they were actually about 1,000, because the Spartans, at least, every Spartan had at least 4 helpers, 3 to 4 helpers. So they were probably around 1,000. Not well. I won't dwell on that. I'm replying to someone who is putting words in my mouth, taking me completely out of context to try to denigrate my image, as it's usually the case. Apparently, I'm starting to get noticed in the internet. Hey, I'll have to deal with a lot of nerds like this one. This is the first one. It's so much fun. Let's get through it. So he's already basing himself on a false premise that I would be making a claim when I'm since you want to be anal about it, right? Since you have persisted for days while I was laughing you off after you called me names, I don't need to take you seriously. And I am not taking you seriously. I'm having a blast, just because I know where you come from. I don't mean no offense, but my kind of humor doesn't denote artificial laughter that is pressed a button every time somebody tells us what is supposed to be a joke, so you understand you have to laugh now. I don't work that way. So my humor is a bit different than yours, and I therefore understand why you might have taken it too far as you are doing by persisting in error. You are putting words in my mouth. I was responding to a claim made, and it was half of a sentence that I made that you decided to take offense with because you thought you could take me down. Anyway, because I'm bored, I'm doing this video. That's how non-important you are to me, because I know if you let that run, you would believe, and you still would, even if I make a video that completely destroys you, you would still believe you won, because then you made me do the video. Oh, so I'm important to you. No, you aren't, dude. I'm still laughing at it because you don't see the mistake you are doing. You are literally punching your shadow while I'm looking at it. That's the state of affairs, to put it into perspective. Again, context, I was replying to the topic about homosexuality in Greece by mentioning that in many city-states, they were not homosexuals. In some states, they did shun upon homosexuality. They seem to have a found interest in pederasty, but In Sparta, it was not compulsory as it was in Greece, and Aristotle did point that out. And it baffles me that despite you having so many texts, maybe, if you just stop trying to read in Google Translate, which you are pointing, people, you can see it. He's literally, isn't it Google Translate? Correct me if I'm wrong there and there specifically, but he's putting to show that, dude, you don't know. If you're putting the Greek text in the side, the classical Greek, maybe if you should stop trying to read in classical Greek that has a lot of twists and turns. And especially Aristotle, he was known for playing with words all the time. This is why it's very difficult, even to the top academics, especially to the top academics, because of, the Dunning-Kruger curve, right? You believe you are on the top of the wave right now, which you aren't. Even for expert academics on the matter of classical Greek, Aristotle is very difficult to learn because he's a wordsmith. He is such a virtuous, and he is, that he allows himself to invent or create or twist and turn specific words because he wants to hurt who is ignorant, so they can make fools of themselves when they try to claim they understand Aristotle writings in full. No, you don't. If you know anything at a depth about Aristotle, is that you won't. So, caveat emptor, and I think that's Latin, not Greek. That means buyer beware when you read anything from Aristotle. He is playing with you like, they play with the people who just come into the university, into academia, pun intended. So if you know anything about Aristotle, is that you can't know for sure what he really meant about certain aspects, especially when he's talking about those things. Maybe because he didn't want back then to be legally prosecuted in those specific city-states. So could be also a reason. So he's very keen in being nonchalant or non-specific about certain wordings. So it can be taken into a completely different direction if he really needs to. And that's the twist that you, who claim to be very known about Aristotle, do not know about, because you probably, my wild guess, never really studied it in a serious university. I noticed that you show books, but you do not show your alma mater. You do not show that you have proper academic training in the matter. So before we can claim academia, show me some so I can see where you come from. Otherwise, I'm going to be just like Gordon Ramsay, who is very critical of professional chefs, but very kind to those housewives who make food in his competitions. Because he measures people according to their skill, and not according to their profession, according to what they claim, and not according to the reality, right? So, dude, you don't know what you're doing. I'm just telling you that, okay? You don't know the depth, the real depth of what you're talking about. Plus, you try to culminate. This is when, academically speaking, if you're going to be serious about the topic, when you call someone names, they have, in academia, they have no obligation whatsoever of taking you serious after that. Call it academic arrogance. I don't care. I know enough about academia to know that. You call someone names, you've lost. They have no obligation to take you seriously because you're not being serious. Do you understand? And yes, I'm very, stern. I am a stern person in real life. My humor is stern. Just because I don't ha 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 all the time doesn't mean I'm less of humorous. I'm full because you lack the depth of what I'm saying. You don't know half of what I know about Aristotle. What's the point of reading? Yeah, religious people read their holy books all the time. Do they have any idea what they're talking about? No, not really. Because they don't know what it means. Even if they read it. Especially if they only read it. Allegedly, if they read it. What's the point? You can show me books. I had all those books and more. I had to buy them for the studies I was doing in university. You know what I did once I finished it? I threw it all away. I gave it away. I didn't throw it away. I gave it away. My ex. Dude, get over yourself. Look, I'm very proud of you that you own all those books. As usual, Americans tend to confuse by your accent and your arrogance and supposing that you are an American. I know that you believe that you throw money at stuff to solve the problem. Not always. And that's the big distinction between Europeans and Americans. This is why, for instance, what the Americans, what the American administration, Americans are really good people, but most of them, not the nerd. I understand now. The more I talk to that kind of nerd, the more I understand why Americans used to put them inside lockers back in the 80s. And some of them should. I don't know if it is your case yet. Are you still going to persist in narrative? You tried to lie about what I was responding to. I was not making a claim, I was responding to. So if you want to be that anal about it, know this. I was responding, scoffing at a claim made. Because it's pretty obvious to anyone who knows anything about that region. There was no Greece and they were not all gay. Okay? So get over yourself. Putting it in short in the terms that people like you can understand. So your pretense, your arrogance, that just delights me. Because I studied the topic, I know what I'm talking about. You read the books. You don't know the context. What's the point of reading a book if you lack the context? But anyway, let's see what you lie about me. Pissed off at what I said. After half a sentence of a reply I made to a claim about the topic, that is homosexuality, and he pretends, as you are going to see in the video, that he does not know, like, why I am posting a reply about homosexuality when the topic was so pissy about the fact that I said that Aristotle wasn't really fond of homosexuality. He wasn't. And it was Philip, and as I pointed out, Philip II, the anal about it, and Alexander the son, they weren't fond of it. Proof is in the pudding. The first thing that Philip II and Alexander did, was to eliminate the band of 200s from Thebes. That was what might have given the whole people in the areas that we now know as Greece, all those completely different city-states from each other, the idea that all Greeks were gay, which they were not, or we wouldn't have so many of them now. So as I'm doing now, I'm responding to a claim made. This claim specifically against me. So yeah, here we go. If you want to be anal about it, so let's be anal about it, right? I'm responding to your ad vericundiam, that you somehow don't mention where you learned it from. So therefore, because you don't mention source, I must conclude that you are self-learned. And kudos to you, but then understand one thing. I'll lead you one level above the level you currently are on. You will have to learn the context from someone who knows the context. I'm giving you a free lesson here. I usually charge, and I'm not cheap. So if you want to know more, I will gladly charge you the next time. Do you understand? You are agreeing, if you persist in error, that you will be from now on charged. I can send you my bank account so you can send money to me, and then I'll send you the price. I did not like that you try to insult me or pretend you don't know anything about me. Learn to ask before you make a statement. I know you believe that this is what you did, but as I'm going to show you in what you dwell on here, you really didn't. So again, I made fun of you when you called me names. I thought it was cute and endearing, and then I did not need to take you serious from that moment on, and resorted to returning to the topic that was homosexuality in Greece, and then I gave a text that was showing that not all places were. Some places didn't really agree with that. So that pederasty might be something we're talking about here, but homosexuality, not everybody was fond of it in classical Greece. Despite the current academia madness that I already posted links about to show how dumb current academia is, reason I'm no longer there, too many lunatics, talk about lunatics, too many idiots there, because, the state is making big money out of it. So that's why it's a cash cow. It's not, it ceased to, in most of it at least, to have its proper functions. And I refuse to be a part of that cash cow. So yeah. And he assumes more, but yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're going to see for yourself how he is. Since he wishes to be anal about me, someone he knows nothing about. So here we go.
So I'm going to try and do it as I can. This all arose out of you claiming that Aristotle despised.
I claimed nothing. I was replying to a claim made. If you're going to use burden of proof, use it properly.
So I'm going to try and do it as I can. This all arose out of you claiming that Aristotle despised homosexual conduct, and your claim.
He was definitely not fond of it, and there's plenty of evidence if you just understood what he was writing, which would imply you understand context, which you obviously don't, because you take Aristotle literally. And there are things, and that's the catch, my friend, there are things you can take Aristotle literally when he's making, when he is talking about mathematical equations, when he's creating the system of classifications that we seem to use to this day. Yes, you should take him literally. When he is playing with words not to get legally prosecuted by some city-states because he liked traveling a lot. But how the hell would you know that? Because as I pointed out, I believe I did, only 30% of what we know about Aristotle is known. The rest was eliminated because religious people like you seem to be have made it clear that it did not survive. So we do not know for sure a lot of things. And if you are going to be all academy about it, know that one of the maxims in academia is absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Let that sink in. For those who didn't understand, I repeat, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Let that sink in. You have to think about it before you respond, before you react. Think about it. Okay? I hope you did. Pause if you need to think about it. Okay, please do, because it's going to do you a lot of good. It's a humbling experience. It will make you more tolerant, for instance.
And your claim was that he left Sparta.
Not my claim. And he didn't leave Sparta. Please show me where I wrote that he left Sparta. He left Athens. He left Athens. He left Athens, not Sparta. Since you want to be anal.
And your claim was that he left Sparta because his son was becoming the subject of an amorous fight.
He was concerned that his son might become, the bottom bitch, and he didn't want that for his son. Reason why he ended up in places like Macedon. That's despite what Hollywood likes to show, because they don't want Europeans to be proud of their heritage. They want to destroy all of it because they hate it for whatever reason. I don't know. We make them big money. If we are gone, I'm not sure. I know they are hoping to make that much money out of slavery. They won't. The slaves, by then, the majority of people will be their slaves, and they will revolt, and they will kill them all, probably, in a rampage of absolute ignorant rage, as it's usually the case with those civilized people who become too smart for their own ass. They are going to be raped to death. I see it coming. It's the history of humankind. It's just a matter of time. It will be their turn, and I think it's already turning. But hey, I'm getting ahead of myself, and besides the topic. Back to the topic. His pissy attitude about half of a sentence that I made as reply to a claim that was being made erroneously, that I tried to correct.
Cite your source. In other words, I asked you to show me where in any ancient or modern text it says that Aristotle was in Sparta with his son.
Look at the dishonesty. Please, then show me exactly where I wrote that. I mean, if you're basing your whole claim, your claim, not mine, that I was talking that Aristotle left Sparta, which he didn't. It was technically the other way around. He might have sent his son to Sparta, because in Sparta, pederasty was not compulsory. Let that sink in. So, but no, he wants to make a fool of myself. Of course, he goes as far as to make this self-aggrandizing video because he got insecure. Because truth is, what bothered him is not me. It's not really me. Is that he lacks that information. So he's being really arrogant, really petty about it, trying to insult me, or pretentious about it, because he's hurt that I might have some knowledge that he doesn't. And because he misspoke to me in a way that is very disrespectful, I can, academically speaking, completely disregard him and not take him serious, which I'm still not doing, mind you. Remember, kids, I'm pulling his leg here in an intellectual level, which he probably doesn't understand yet.
You balked at the idea. Instead, you did not do that. In fact, you refused. You balked at the idea.
Yes, because we are not talking about that topic, stupid. We are talking about homosexuality in Greece and the reasons that one of the possible reasons, we don't know. You can ask the top academic about the topic. He doesn't know for sure because, as I pointed out, it seems, it's estimated, it's calculated. Nobody knows for sure, and the numbers always change. They keep changing. And especially now that academia is corrupted by ignorant people because it became a cash cow to academics, most of all. We will never know for the next 20, 30 years. I hope it doesn't. We don't get immersed in a new dark age where people who knew were prosecuted until people became so ignorant that they were drowning in their own feces and dying of the most basic diseases because people forgot to bathe. That's what religious people like him seem to be. I'm not accusing him. I'm considering, because he seems to have a pet peeve that we will know. You'll see, it's coming.
You did not do that. In fact, you refused. You balked at the idea.
When you call me a silly name, I didn't need to. It's done. If you claim to know anything about anything, If you claim academic knowledge, which you haven't really shown that you have shown you'll see it's coming, that you are self-read. That's what, and good for you. But look, I'm giving you tips for free here. Now you need to understand context, which you don't. You take it literally. That's a big mistake.
You did not do that. In fact, you refused. You balked at the idea. Instead, you
Again, because we were not talking about that.
completely unrelated article from Fordham University about homosexuality in the ancient.
Because this is what we were talking about. If you weren't so self-centered, you would have noticed that. I'm not talking about your opinion. I couldn't care less about the opinion of someone I don't know. Especially in a place like Threads, it's not an academic spot. If it might have been an academic spot, I might have taken you a bit more seriously in your demands, because you demanded. I really dislike that. So when you call me names, I thought it was just so cute. Let me toy with this guy, and apparently it worked, because you're all worked out. If you haven't seen it yet, folks, don't worry, it's coming.
Ancient world, none of which supports what you said.
Because, to begin with, I never said Aristotle left Sparta. And this is what you persist. You saw him saying that several times over. Now, please find me the text where I said that Aristotle specifically left Sparta, which I never did. So you either are absolutely ignorant to anything I'm writing, and the topic we were talking about, friendly, before you came along, or you are intentionally trying to put me in a bad picture, make a bad image of me, poisoning the well about me, against me. And that deserves a reply, because that's absurd. Good luck with that. I do not recommend it at all. Because as you can see, I'm going to expose you now for all the nonsensic statements, for putting words in my mouth and making assumptions. It's coming. You guys will see.
None of this actually supports anything that you said.
Because I didn't say the things you said I said, as I pointed out. Anyone can check the conversation there. That, as you can see, he's not showing. He's not showing the original conversation, is he? He's showing the text I posted about the topic of homosexuality in the region that we today know as Greece, to prove my point to other people I was replying to. I didn't care about him at all, but he's making it all about him.
Line of it. So this is weird to me, because why would you link this if you thought that it supported your argument, unless, like most internet trolls, you didn't read it?
And here we go. Here he begins. Or rather, here he continues with his assumptions. He assumes I'm a troll.
Read it. And that's what happened. You didn't read this. If you had...
I did, and it was replying to the topic, because I don't care about you specifically. I don't know you enough to care about you. Don't take it the wrong way. And if I did, I'm probably not be interested, because I'm not into guys. Sorry.
Ready, you wouldn't have given it to me. So nothing, any of this supports what you said. Not one bit. Now, looking...
So posting a link to something about homosexuality in the region that we know today as Greece has nothing to do with the topic of homosexuality in the place we know currently to be about Greece. Again, to further prove how dishonest he's being right here, right now, he's not showing the conversation, because if he showed, you would clearly see that A, the topic was about the exact text that he's showing that I posted, and 2, I never mentioned that Aristotle left Sparta with his son. That's absurd. That's ill-intended. He intends to lie about me, which is now clear.
Which gets me to this dude, a radical anti-tax anarchist Marxist. I don't.
If you're anti-tax, you're obviously not a Marxist. So he's making yet further assumptions. He is seemingly doing something that is called an ad hominem. Since we wish to be anal, right? I mean, I'm just going along with I'm just playing by his rules. If he's offended by that, be offended by the rules you set to yourself.
I don't know what the hell he is, and to be honest, I don't care.
Then why? And he's going to elaborate on it, folks. He's going to elaborate. Pay attention. Then why the hell are you posting the person? Why? Why are you making assumptions of the person that you obviously didn't check? Because he's either he was afraid to saying an anarcho-capitalist. Probably that guy is. I don't know. I didn't check the guy. I did check what he said about homosexuality. How I stopped paying taxes. Okay. It's not even the topic that he's showing here. It's not even what the hell we are talking about. It's about a topic completely unrelated about not paying taxes. So I'm not sure what's the point he's trying to make. People have different opinions and they shouldn't have different opinions? Is that what you're suggesting? Because that seems to be, if you allow yourself to be so creative about what I say, then why shouldn't I make assumptions about you? Let's see where it goes from there. No, I choose not to, but don't do that. You're exposing yourself, right? You're just proving my point that you're completely off topic because you're trying to poison the well and not make sense of what I said. And I asked you several times in different wording to try to make sense of what I'm saying instead of reacting like you are doing, because you end up making a fool of yourself. Just saying, I'm literally trying to help the guy here.
Which honestly, you are clearly a part of this kind of thing.
Clearly? Can you show me the line, the text, the sentence where I'm clearly a part of anarcho-Marxism? Which is an oxymoron, by the way. But since he wishes to be anal about things and snarky about a very specific, without fully grasping the concept even, are you sure I am? Can you prove I am? Because all evidence seems to point to the contrary. But hey, what would I know? I'm myself, right? What would I know about myself? Know myself. Who said that in classical Greek again? But anyway.
So that's fascinating to me. Because
No, it's not fascinating for you. You're a hypocrite and you are a liar and you're making stuff up to try to justify your ill notion about books you bought that you failed to grasp the concept of half of it. I wouldn't say all, but half of it, at least. And I'm being too kind.
my general experience is that...
Your general experience is shit, okay? You have proven you have the general experience of a shithead.
My general experience is that Marxists and anarchists and other people of this nature, by the way, this was me reading the Greek here.
Look, he knows about Google Translate. Isn't it cute? Was it Google Translate? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Told you to link me the Greek sources so that I could read them myself, but I had to go out and find it for myself. And as I...
Yes, because you are not worthy my time after you called me names, silly. When the topic is not about that, and I do not wish to interact with a moron like you, or not a moron, fair enough, but an arrogant, pretentious, do you understand? like you. And hey, Americans, take no offense on it. Most Americans, I'm fine. I love American people. Your current governments for the last 35 years have been shit, but you people are really nice. And the fact that you took that garbage for so long is evidence. It's an eternal testimony on how nice American people really are, how patient, tolerant, and loving they are. That they are willing to take so much crap from bad people as they have been doing for the last 35 years. And this is why their economy is in the shitter, because they have been doing that. Don't do that, okay? Tear them down. Your forefathers literally told you to, right? Something, something, blood of the traitors, and something, something, tree of liberty. Something, something. Yeah. Otherwise, you let that kind of pretentious pomps in charge.
In comparing the translations, I realized that you were full of crap. So I think,
With no evidence to back it up, based in false premises that you made up yourself. I never said, please show me where. Somehow, look, people, he's not showing the conversation, because if you saw the conversation, you could clearly see I never said that. I might have suggested he has been in Sparta, but we don't the hell know, because most of his texts have been erased by people like this prick, who claims to know better than Aristotle, than someone who actually studied Aristotle in an academic level, which he also, oddly enough, doesn't seem to show for. Please, show me if you have any academic expertise in the matter, so I can write personally by hand to your academic institution to make fun of them too, which I will, for the pleasure of it, because as a guy over 50, I have a lot of time in my hands right now. So yeah, come on, indulge me in where your knowledge comes from, because I can clearly show where my knowledge comes from, and then which dick is bigger in that sense.
we could just put that by the wayside at this point.
Where are the texts of our conversation? Why you do not show them? If that's what you claim you're responding to. Why do you want to show that you have a Google Translate or something of the sort that is translating from Greek to American English?
We could just put that by the wayside at this point.
This is so ridiculous.
My experiences with political extremists of all kinds is that they rarely, if ever.
Okay, look at that, folks. You are listening to him. He made a 5-minute video to bitch and whine about something I never wrote. Isn't that awesome? And now he's assuming I'm a political Marxist. Oh my God, if the Marxists hear that, oh, are they going to be mad? They're going to say, don't insult us. We know what we are talking about. You do not know.
Is that they rarely, if ever, actually understand what they're advocating or doing.
Oh, the irony missed. Do you understand now why I decided to make a video, other than I was born in a beautiful sunny day? Because some dumbass from wherever, who does not show any academical knowledge, like you want to debate knowledge, yeah, okay, you want me to write exact text, exact line. You wrote it several times in our conversation that somehow, for some reason, you're not showing. Huh? Why are you not showing? Tell me, come on. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. Or I'll just jiggle keys in front of you. Come on.
It doesn't matter if you're an extreme leftist or you're on the extreme right. None of you know.
Why does he assume I am in the extreme anything? Talk about extremes. Dude, look at the mirror.
It's essentially the same. You approach it from a
Oh, the horseshoe theory. Now, what do the political savvy has to say about the shoe horse theory? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Go do it.
trajectory, but you're still the same type of lunatic. That doesn't change.
Oh, a lunatic, am I? Woo-hoo-hoo.
In the immortal words of the sole survivor of Fallout 4, war never.
Behold his ultimate knowledge. Oh, this is the ultimate humiliation. I'm going to completely destroy the claims he never made about the topic that I'm refusing to admit he was the people were engaged on. Friendly, right? We are all learning. I'm learning. We're all learning. And now I learned there's one more pretentious, pompous. Okay, moron. Fair enough. He called me a lunatic. I can call him moron. Because then, you see, I cannot really go to jail for calling him whatever I want to call him from now on. Because according to him, I'm not mentally stable. So I don't know what I'm doing, people. I don't know. I don't have an idea of what I'm doing here. He seems to have all the ideas for himself. And he quotes Fallout Entertainment to prove it in a claim that can be easily debated or debunked, right? One never changes. I don't know, dude. I think we're a bit far from the stones and sticks from yesterday, let's put it that way. But according to Einstein, after our next war, we might return to. So until that happens, this quote is just meant to give entertainment level of gravitas to a game about zombies, decaying corpses roaming around and attacking people, and big green. Is this your source of knowledge? Is that your academia? Is that your alma mater?
War never changes.
Oh, we are at war now.
Politics never changes either. So,
Politics never changes, people.
this isn't surprising to me. Now, if you want to do this little charade, by all means do so.
The charade! Oh my god, he thinks the charade. Oh, that makes me sound so smart.
I have something to back it up. When I say you need to cite a source,
Yes, you had something to back it up. A Fallout quote that is inconsistent with the reality.
cite a source. This is what I'm looking for. You see that? That's
You see that? You see that? What I have in my Google Translate? You see that? You see that?
right there. That number will tell me where I can find it.
Oh no! He knows numbers. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. The guy knows numbers. Oh my god, he learned to count.
Into it. Now, all of those texts there.
And here we go. Oh, the piece de resistance. Oh, please show me.
Help me find it too.
Ah,
And I just want to make something clear to you.
yeehaw. Look, people, at the side of his unmade bed. Oh, he knows so much. He has a closet full of books at the side of his bed, where he has his computer, not an academic office. He lives in his bed. Is it in the same house as your parents? Please tell me it's not. Please. Give us here, having a blast at your self-humiliation display. Where do you live? Because it does look, if your books are in your bedroom together with your computer, it might look to me you still live with your parents.
If you can't tell me where to find it,
In your bedroom, you say? Hey, dude, I told you I'm not interested.
In this tone, in all of this stuff here, I don't want to know. And now,
Yes, we got to the cruxus of the point, ladies and horsemen. Because war never changes, you see. We are still fighting in horses, aren't we? No? Wait a minute. Uh, I already gave a pre-explanation about context, which fails him completely. I tried to tell him. He wouldn't listen. He made a video to prove it.
there's something else in terms of Aristotle, okay? If you
Dude, how old are you? You still have your computer in your bedroom together with all your library? That I must conclude, because you made sure of it, is your library. And look, this is his bedroom curtains, ladies and gentlemen. He really knows his stuff. He's showing us now his bedroom curtains. Ooh, that guy means business.
show me where
And the IKEA lamp, I know because my daughter, one of my daughters, wants that one, and I still have to buy her. IKEA lamp. I can prove it.
show me.
Show me.
If you can't show me,
Show me.
whoops.
Whoops, indeed.
In this,
In this, that I don't understand half of the context of what the hell he's saying, because it's clearly, as far as I can see it, it seems to be in English, not in classical Greek. But hey, details, right? Not the guy who asked me to quote the exact line from the exact text and the number of the paragraph in a book. No, 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 no. It only applies to me, not to him. He is quoting from a book that is really clearly for all to see. He's pointing at it. I'm not pointing at it. He is written in English.
the complete works of Aristotle.
The complete works. Look at his little fat fingers, folks. Look at his little chubby fingers.
The complete works of Aristotle.
Oh, look, he's very angry. He's very angry. He's attacking me. He's hitting me with that stick.
The complete works of Aristotle.
Let me do that again. Come on, again. Let's all see him very upset about things I never said that he pretends I did, so he can be all angry about it.
Works of Aristotle.
Once again.
Works of Aristotle.
In English.
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 Works of Aristotle. I don't want to know it. Do you
Yes, I understood. You don't want to know it. Then why the hell are you still talking to me if you don't want to know it, if you don't care, if you believe I am from political affiliations, when apparently you seem to check everything, but you didn't check my profile even, where I state clearly what my political affiliations are, and oh, boomer, you're going to have a oh no, oh no.
do you understand?
Me? Well, I understand what I did write. That has nothing to do what you understood or what I wrote. And despite me telling you, hey dude, read again. Please read. Read once more. You still fail to understand. So, excuse me if I call you a moron?
Better,
Or rather, self-absorbed prick?
better have it in there. That Plato, the Republic, I got a couple.
Oh no, he has Plato too. Something completely unrelated as well. I don't know why he's talking about. I think he wants to show that his family bought him a lot of books, or he stole it. I don't know. I can't. Since he's just making assumptions that I am a Marxist right now. Ooh, the Marxists, they would be incensed. Ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck? I'm a Marxist now. Oh God, that guy knows nothing about anything he's talking about. What's the point of you buying books? You should have used all the money of those books to actually have a life, because you apparently don't. And not only you don't have a life, you don't have a clue of what those books are talking about, because if you did, you would know exactly what I meant. You would at least have a speck of consideration for a moment that I'm not taking you seriously at all, which I'm still not doing. Because if I did, I would really humiliate you in a manner that I don't want to. Because, I don't know, I kind of led people to suicide before. Seems so, but I don't know. I cannot read minds, unlike you who claim you can, because apparently you're completely wrong with about everything about me so far, even what I'm writing. And again, to prove my point here, folks, if you doubt, he did not show the conversation. He showed that he knows classical Greek. However, the book that he's saying that it would be in classical Greek, everybody could see, because he's banging at it violently with his little chubby finger, is in English. It's not in classical Greek. So debunked in your own claims about yourself, about your self-taught knowledge, because again, another speck of evidence, he does not show alma mater. And we all know, we all should, that an arrogant prick like this guy, potential narcissist, because he seems to still live with his parents. This library of his is in his bedroom together with his computer. And we all know what that means, don't we? Especially if you're living in the US. I could even take it if you're living in Europe or in Japan, that okay, they tend to live in very small dwellings, but they still have living rooms where they keep their actual books. If you want to know anything about Europeans, how they live, unless they're underage, which in case they live in a dorm room or something of the sort. This guy lives in his bedroom. That's where all his life is, based on what he's showing us, so bragging about it. This is where he reads his books. This is where he masturbates to his porn. This is where he plays his Fallout games. Because if he really believes that that phrase, war never ends, has any context, are we still fighting in horses? No, then war changes. And we can debate, I know, I mean, but look, remember, Fallout is entertainment, okay? It's meant to have gravitas, to put you immersion, right? For the less intelligent people and the more intelligent people, especially Fallout 1 is not an easy game. But I love the brutal endings, which is one of them I want to give to this guy as a valuable lesson if he has any speck of humility, and he should, because to claim intellect, you need to have humility. And if you don't know what I mean by that either, you're lost. And I'm not going to explain to you, as I refuse to go along with you calling me names, so I started mocking you. Because any academic knows what it means when the other person calls you names. I'll just arrogantly ignore and amuse me of that person. Remember, English is not even my third language, so I'm trying to find the right wording so it sounds pompous, but I can't be pompous. I have to be myself, you see. It's brilliant. What a self-humiliation ritual. There might be something psychological here. I think it's a call for help. It's a cry for help. He wanted to humiliate himself by lying about me. So here we are, my friend. Here we are. You live in your bedroom. You seem to, therefore, I can make several considerations about your person. Since you're making false assumptions about me, I can make several consistent considerations about the nature of mindset. Talking about lunatics, talking about self-deluded people. You're living in your bedroom. How old are you? You have hair in that hand, I could see it. How old are you to still live in your bedroom? Dude, Move! Sell those books and buy a chair with the money. Nobody cares about buying those. Oh, God damn it. God damn it. It's always one of those, right? It's always. And then when people make fun of them saying that they're basement dwellers, you get offended, but you shouldn't. Well, this one, I don't think he lives in a basement because he has a window, right? So he lives in the attic, or he lives in the second floor of his parents' house. So it seems, based on the kind of curtains and the kind of furniture you have, you still live with your parents. Prove me wrong. Hey, just saying. Do you still live with your parents? Because this is what it seems. You see, I have the decency of asking before I jump into conclusions. At least I'm not making false assumptions about the guy. Give me that.
Copies of that Emperor's Handbook.
Like he's doing about me. So.
What else we got here? All of this stuff. If I can't find it.
If you can't find it, you're a moron.
All this stuff. If I can't find it in this stuff. There, we got little classics there too.
I have a lot of stuff. Look, I have a lot of stuff in my little teeny tiny bedroom. In my teeny tiny bedroom, folks. I have a lot of stuff in my teeny tiny bedroom where I keep my computer so I can watch my porn without my parents noticing because I keep the door locked. I'm so smart. I still live in their home. I save money. Dude, move, get a life. Do as Aristotle did and marry at least once and live with your slave when you're older at least once in a lifetime. Don't endorse slavery just before he jumps into yet another conclusion, yet another false assumption about me. Just because I used the wrong wording, which is, by the way, another fallacy. It's called the fallacy, right? Because the wording or context was not properly explained or was poorly informed or it used strong wording. Then you claim you ignore everything that is said and you try to focus on that. And I think he's more angry about the strong wording I might have used that I don't remember right now because the conversation was so insignificant. I merely pointed out, look, this is the situation about homosexuality in Greece. Not everybody was fond of it and some cities didn't promote it at all. And I posted evidence that he has shown, he has concluded, he has admitted. I posted evidence about the topic we were actually talking about. I was not talking about the false claims. I don't need to defend myself from false claims. Do you understand that? I do not need to defend myself from false claims because they are false allegations. It's ludicrous. If you want any speck of academia, which you probably don't, it doesn't matter how many books you buy if you don't understand them. It's like reading a holy book and not understanding half of it, cherry picking and forgetting the rest, ignoring the rest. If you read that much books, you probably forgot 80% of that already, right? As I forgot my classical Greek, you probably forgot that too. So next time, don't lie about me. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't talk to me. Thank you.
I didn't want to. You are making videos lying about me, claiming I said things, I wrote things I never wrote, claiming I wrote Aristotle left Sparta with his son because they were all gay there, which I never did. I actually inferred to the contrary, that the Spartans didn't make homosexuality compulsory because they kind of considered it to be submissive behavior. As we know today, that guy apparently doesn't because he still lives with his mommy. Do I need really to continue this ridiculous charade? Oh, come on, dude. Stay in your lane. You live with your mommy. Get a life. Get out of there. for your own good, as you shown. By the way, is that a shorts? Are those shorts right under his computer screen? Dude, I clean up for my whole family here. You have shorts under your computer screen. We are not the same. You don't want me to talk with you. Stop talking with me. I told you several times, leave me alone, you freak. I said it with nicer words, but he persists in being a little bottom bitch. What can I do? So yeah, dude, get a life, okay? You are in no position to lie about someone, okay, and putting words in my mouth. Just saying. Stay in your lane. At least get out of your parents' house, okay? Find a good woman. Marry that good, but that would imply actual self-improvement, wouldn't it? Not a pretense because you bought or were given books with the allowance that you probably still get from your parents. And God, I hope I never have a kid like that. I'm just saying. Well, I won't, because I'm raising my kids to be independent, so maybe that's their parents' fault as well, letting him stay for so long. Look at that. He thinks he has a point by showing a computer screen about a completely unrelated point that he's trying to make with something completely unrelated, while he has shorts, and this is better be shorts and not what I'm thinking it is, underpants right under his computer screen. If it is underpants, oh boy, oh, don't do that. But he's so livid that I ignored his eminence of nothingness that he had to make this livid video. Oh boy. Dude, find a woman, right? But again, it would mean you had to not change, but to better yourself, which you don't want to. You stated clear. So get out of the house, okay? Just look at people in the street. You'll see they exist, actually. Yeah, you start there, buddy. You start there, little buddy. Or take an actual academic course about the topic before you respond. You dare trying to challenge someone who has been through academia, okay? And who was such an intellectual piece that I left academia because I saw that it just became a cash cow and I refused to be a part of it. Because it's not about intellect anymore, it's about making money. And you've proven it. You bought a lot of books, you don't understand their context, you never cared having proper, actual people who know more than you about the topic, and you refuse to listen to them because you make shit up about them, as you did now. I never claimed that Aristotle came out of Sparta because he was afraid they were going to fuck his son. No. Oh, because he was falling, according to what you wrote, he was falling in love with... Dude, get out of your house. It's affecting your brain, okay? You're seeing things nobody wrote. And you know it. Because if you didn't know it, why don't you post the conversation then? Post the conversation. Like, you did admit that I ignored you, that I didn't take you seriously when you were insisting in a topic that is, in a point that is irrelevant to the topic, to the point I was making, which, as you admitted, I made clear to be the case. But somehow you persist in error. So here we are. I made a silly video about you because I happen to have some time for myself today. Good on you. I hope you learn a valuable lesson. It's called Get Real. We are not on the same level.